Now, all of this beautiful configuration, it really calls for a special type of reading. Now, I have, of course, my Soul Path offering, my Star Path offering, I have another app called Soul Path, which is part of the Star Path. It basically helps you identify the energy of the 7 planetary gates that you came through based on house and sign, the energy that you come into this incarnation with and that you're asked to use to alchemize into a contribution for yourself and the collective, and then the ascension lessons that you're intended to integrate into the soul in this life. That's the soul path, but it comes with the star path offering. So if you haven't had a soul path reading yet, I would encourage you to talk to me about it. Let's talk about it during our next session, and we'll go through the soul path. But anyway, this particular configuration is perfect for star path offering. It's perfect for soul path. It's also um, the other the other offering that comes to mind is my vocation offering. A vocation is dedicated to helping people find their unique place in this world, and specifically how they feel more fulfilled and most fulfilled, and when they feel most fulfilled, how they then contribute to the collective. Because when we are at our highest vibration, at our highest frequency, is when we're at our most aligned and most fulfilled. That's when we're better and best able to contribute something, bring about something to the collective that benefits all. So the vocation offering is one of my new offerings, and I look at your entire chart. I look at the ruler of your chart, or the master of the house. The Greek term is oikodespotis. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it means master of the house. I look at the master of your house. I look at your chart ruler. I use Firmicus Maternus Mathesis, and I also use Vedius Valens's anthologies, astrological anthologies, to identify which planets and placements and signs and elements and modalities are the most powerful in your chart. And then from there, I synthesize that into one coherent score and offering, into one like write up for you to help you really hone in on where you're most aligned. So that to me is the offering that was called for. This one is an offering that I channeled over the past month, and it's an offering that I've really felt called to bring forth to the collective during this challenging time. It can be beneficial with this Barbault's basket, but it can also be challenging because I think people are feeling this anxiety, this agitation with the collective, like with AI and our relationship to AI and to each other, and am I going to lose my job, and what do I do? Like, I don't feel aligned. So because of that, because I was seeing that in the zeitgeist, I channeled this offering, and it's perfect for this particular moment with Barbault's basket. All right, I'm almost at 20 minutes. I wanted to keep it at 15, but I have a few more things that I want to share. So another thing I wanted to share with Barbault's basket is, while I talked about the impact on the collective, there are 2 things, and I think I've teased this, but I haven't talked about it yet in this video. There are 2 things that you can look for on how it is unique and impacts you specifically. The first one is look at the houses. Look at the houses that Barbault's basket, that these 4 planets are contacting. That's going to tell you. So we already know the signs involved. We have 2 fire signs. We have 2 air signs. That means taking action on ideas. Taking action on ideas. It can be spiritual action as well, because I associate fire with the spirit. Now, so for everybody, it's Aquarius, Gemini, it's Leo, it's Aries, okay? But for you specifically, it's going to to be unique because it's going to hit your houses differently. So I've done readings where it hits top to bottom, from midheaven to Imam Kweli, or the inner sky. I've seen it hit people from this direction. It's kind of like the from the ascendant to the descendant. I like to look at symbols. I think that there is instruction and lessons in symbols. And so the symbol of a basket is it holds, but it can also release depending on the gravitational orientation, right? So depending on where that basket falls in your chart, we can look at the houses and see how it impacts you, but we also want to look at the shape of the basket. The shape of the basket can tell us whether you're meant to more receive the energy from the universe or whether there's some old things that you're meant to let go. And so it can be like a slight tipping, like just a little bit meant if it's oriented like a north to south, or it can be like I need to dump everything out of my basket. So it can be full east to west with the smaller part of the basket up top, or it's a full receiving that I've got the basket on the bottom, the bottom of the basket on the bottom of my chart. So that's another thing to look at. I think symbolically, there's a lot there, that which of your four angular houses does it impact? And then that will again help you identify the color and the nature of this particular very powerful arrangement in your chart. All right, that's what I wanted to talk about with Barbault's basket. I hope that you gain something from this, and reach out to me if you have any questions, and if you want to talk about specific elements or how this impacts your chart. Let's look it up for our next session.